Hi, welcome to Worldview Wednesday. My name is Alex Robbins.
And my name is Lauren Jaskey.
And Lauren, what question are we asking people today?
Do you believe in an afterlife?
Well, stay tuned for our 30th episode at the Do You Think You're Open-Minded event that Ratio has had by the time you see this. But that will be coming out soon.
Yeah. So our question for today is, do you believe in an afterlife?
Yes, I do. I believe in heaven for sure.
Okay.
But, if that's kind of what you mean. I'm not really the most religious person, but I definitely believe that we all go somewhere and that things happen for a reason.
Okay. Why do you believe that?
I don't know. I just feel like it would be weird for everything to just end. I feel like there has to be some point where you meet, and of course the whole thing about like guardian angel and all that, I totally believe in that. So.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
Yes and no.
What do you mean by that?
Technically no, but I like to have the belief that there is an afterlife, just because I don't want to be scared that there isn't one.
Yeah. Why do you think there's not one?
I don't know, because like your body just dies, it just decompose and become one with earth, and so that's why I feel like there's not one.
Yeah.
And so then again, I just want to believe that there is, because I just want to feel better about myself and like not be afraid of like death.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
Yeah, I do. Reincarnation a little bit. I don't know. I'm not particularly religious, but I believe that there's something else after.
Okay. How did you come to that conclusion that in reincarnation?
Well, it's not, obviously not really a statement of fact. My opinion is just that it's more fun to think about life as not the end, like death is not the end, than it is to just be like, okay, you can live your whole life and whatever you do doesn't matter, you just die. So
Yeah.
it's just a little bit more comforting, I think, to a lot of people and myself to just, I believe in the afterlife.
So the first question that we're asking for today is, do you believe in an afterlife?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what is that afterlife like?
Heaven and hell. Heaven, I guess you can describe as accepting Jesus into your heart. So basically, if you've accepted Jesus, then you do go to heaven, and you don't have to, I guess, re-accept him in your life. So say if you do like something terrible and you're really guilty about it, you don't have to go back to Jesus and be like, hey, you don't have to go through that. But hell, I guess, is just you don't accept Jesus.
So how did you come to that conclusion?
That's just something I believe in, and that's just something that the Bible says, so that's what I believe in.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
Why do you say maybe?
'Cause I don't know. I've heard stories, and I know there are like books and movies about like people like having some sort of medical thing where they like technically die, and then they like see something after, and then like doctors like resuscitate them or do whatever they do, and they're like, I saw this thing. But like, I don't know. For me, I was like, cool, I die. I don't know what happens.
Yeah.
Do you believe in an afterlife or life after death?
Oh, difficult. Yeah, I strongly believe. I'm Asian. We thought that we have some spirit. Spirit is body is just a kind of appearance. So we have a spirit or energy. So after we die, the spirit or energy keeps still live and go some other space.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
Yes.
Okay, so what would that afterlife be?
Heaven or hell.
Okay, interesting. So then who would go to heaven or hell?
People that were good would probably go to heaven. People that like moved furniture around in blind people's houses would probably go to hell.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
No, I don't really believe there's a heaven and hell. I just feel like there's an afterlife, and like it's everything that you want in your world of like what you couldn't really have. Well, your ultimate happiness that you are with like the people that you love the most. You don't really have to worry about like job, money, or anything like that, because that only happens in this world.
So just to clarify, so you would say you don't think that's what exists, but you would hope that that is what exists. Do you think that there is, that we have a soul, that we're more than just a body, or do you think
Yeah. I would like to believe that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where our personality comes from, or vibes that we feel or get from one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's a soul, do you think that could go somewhere else, or do you think that goes into the ground as well?
I haven't thought about that, honestly. Yeah.
Who do you think will be in heaven?
People who are good. I mean, that's like kind of a loaded question, but I guess people who are good, but I think like obviously people who do terrible things should not be. But I'm not like the type of person where it's like, oh, you sin, you're going to hell. Like I'm the type of person where it's like you have to do something really, really bad. Like those terrible people you see out there that are like murderers or whatever. I think that there's no way.
So like Hitler or someone?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
But I'm very lenient on it. I think that if you're for the most part a good person, like.
What do you think would be a good basis to measure if somebody's good enough to get into heaven?
I mean, kind of like I'm very lenient about it. So kind of like I said, like as long as you don't do horrible things like to people and you're not a murderer or like a rapist or not terrible. If you have like good intentions, like somewhat, I think you're probably good.
Yeah. Do you think maybe heaven could exist, or
I think so, yeah.
if so, who do you think would go there?
I mean, God, or technically Jesus, talks a lot about, like, you don't really, like, everyone, no matter what you do, is already deserving of his love and being with him in, like, eternal whatnot.
Yeah.
So I think everyone ultimately would go to that place if there was that place, I guess.
Yeah, so then how would you kind of define a good person who would go to heaven?
Never was kind to people generally, stood for what they believed in, helps people who are less fortunate.
So then who kind of decides who goes where?
I don't know. God, the universe, maybe me, I don't know.
So how did you come to all of this? How did you come to this conclusion?
Hours and hours of meditation in a sweat lodge in Arizona, ayahuasca, DMT, all the sorts of drugs.